Welcome to the third part of this sort of set of videos, which we're calling May because that's when they're recorded, May 2020. In my sessions I usually find a best practice quote because I think it's really nice. I like quotes, and I feel it's inspiring when you're writing or storytelling or being creative. So this month is from the legend that is Maya Angelou, and she said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." And that's so true. So, here's your opportunity to get those untold stories out. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. And in case you've not come across Maya Angelou before, she was born in 1928 and lived until 2014. She was born in Missouri. She had a broad career as a singer, dancer, writer, actress, composer, and a little fact that I found out when reading this, she was Hollywood's first female black director. But she's most well known as being a writer, an essayist, an autobiographer, and a playwright as well. She was also the first black woman to have a screenplay produced. That was in 1972, and she worked as a civil rights activist for a bit with Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. So really interesting poet. Her poetry often focuses on depictions of black women, black beauty, the strength of women, and the strength of the human spirit as well. She wrote a lot against the Vietnam War, and was a big advocate for social justice for everybody, which is, we can see it in the news, is no less important today than it was when she was writing it. So her stuff is still so powerful and relevant. So I urge you to check out some of her poetry. We've looked at it before in my workshop sessions, but if you haven't been to those, if you haven't come across it, even if you have, go back and reread it. It's fantastic. So next part of the session, next activity. And for this one, I want to share with you a poem by Melvin Dixon. Just to warn you before reading this one that it's pretty hard hitting. So just to make you aware in case you're not maybe in the best place to listen to something that is quite intense. It's called Heartbeats. Workout, 10 laps, chin-ups, looks good, steam room, dress warm, call home, fresh air, eat right, rest well, sweetheart, safe sex, sore throat, long flu, hard nodes, beware, test blood, count cells, red thin, white low, dress warm, eat well, short breath, fatigue, night sweats, dry cough, loose stools, weight loss, get mad, fight back, call home, rest well, don't cry, take charge, no sex, eat right, call home, talk slow, chin up, no air, arms wide, nodes hard, cough dry, hold on, mouth wide, drink this, breathe in, breathe out, no air, breathe in, no air, black out, white rooms, head hot, feet cold, no work, eat right, CAT scan, chin up, breathe in, breathe out, no air, thin blood, sore lungs, mouth dry, mind gone, 6 months, 3 weeks, can't eat, no air, today, tonight, it waits for me, sweetheart, don't stop, breathe in, breathe out. Whoosh! So I'm sure he read it better than I did, but that's the version you have me right now. But that one I just think is so, we'll just let that one sink in for a minute. I'll also show it you on the page. I've got it across 2 pages because it was quite a long one in line length. So if you can see, I'll just hold one up. Again, you don't need to be able to read it. Probably hold up the one that's actually got more of the poem on. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? You can see it's very short, and you've got those very short line lengths, very short stanzas just going through. If you can, it would be great for you to have a copy of this one in front of you. If you're accessing this video, I'm assuming you've got the internet. I got this one. If you Google Heartbeat Melvin Dixon, it should come up. I'm just looking where I got it from, poetryfoundation.org. That's where I found this one on. So I can, have it in front of you if you can. If not, don't worry. So usually in my sessions we'd discuss this as a group, we'd get everyone's feedback on it, and unfortunately the guinea pigs are trying to join in, you might be able to hear in the background, but unfortunately it's not as productive as if there was sort of 15 or so of us sat around a table talking about it. So I think I'll try and ask you some questions, then you can pause the video, have a think on them yourself, and I'll give you, not the answers, but my interpretation of it. You're welcome to rewind the video also, and just listen back to it again if you want to. If you want to just watch it straight through, that's fine as well. So here's what I'd like you to have a think about. What is happening in the poem? Think also about how many syllables are in each line and what the impact of this is. A syllable is just how we split up words, and I still find the best way of doing this is what I taught to my groups when I used to work in education, and it's tapping out the syllables. So if you've got a word, so we'll take my name, Emily, it's just how we say something, how we split it up. So if you were going to do apple, that's 2 syllables. Banana is obviously more syllables. And you can do that for every word. So that's how we break words up with syllables. So have a think about how many syllables are in each sentence, and how does the title relate to the poem? The title is Heartbeats. How does that relate to the poem? So if you want to pause, I'll give you a second to do that now. If you have paused, you're probably just joining me again. If you didn't, then you're watching it straight through. That's fine. So this is my thoughts on the questions that I asked you. So for me, the narrator of the poem, and by narrator I don't mean the poet, I mean the person whose viewpoint it is from. Sometimes that's one and the same, sometimes it's a bit of the same, and sometimes it's not at all the same. So we'll just call it the narrator, the person speaking. So the narrator is going about their life, they're doing the best that they can to stay healthy, but at some point they start to get signs that, they're not, things are wrong, they're not feeling too well. And as it goes on, they've had some tests, probably been to hospital, and we get the sense that something really, they're not well, they've got something fairly serious as a health problem. And by the end of the poem, we don't know how long they've got left, and they don't seem to know how long that they've got left either. There's 2 syllables in each sentence, and most sentences are actually just made up of 2 words. So you've got those monosyllabic words, those 1-syllable words in there a lot. I'm just checking I haven't missed anything out of my notes. And when reading this aloud, it has a definite beat to it. Blackout, white rooms, head hot, feet cold, no work, eat right, and it is the boom 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 of a heartbeat to me when reading it, which is how I feel it links in with the title. The poem is also framed with the expression sweetheart. And is this a person that the narrator's talking to? Is it them talking to their own heart, their own body, their soul, and urging it to keep going? I don't know. That's an interpretation of it. Going back to the syllables, so there's 2 syllables per sentence. There's also 2 sentences per line. So that's where you've got that 4 beats, dum 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 throughout it, and as well as being a heartbeat, it actually, to me, could represent the passing of time. Because it could sound, if not a dum, maybe a tick, 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 maybe sort of metronome-like or a clock, but something that indicates that time is passing. And to me, that relates to the fact that the narrator is aware of their own mortality here, that they're not, time has suddenly taken on a different importance. that they're aware of that. So that's I said it was intense. So but you know, whether you like it or not, you know, I don't ask you to like all these poems. It's interesting. I like it. I think it's a really, you know, it's one of those whoa for me, but it might not be for you, and that's okay too. You're allowed a different opinion. If you were going to write one in that form, so with those 4 syllables per line, 2 syllables per sentence, you've got 2 syllables, full stop, 2 syllables, next line, and it repeats throughout the whole poem. Could that heartbeat be used to represent maybe life instead of death? Could it be 2 heartbeats representing 2 people? Is the person maybe not poorly, maybe they're on a run and they're exhilarated or they're exercising? You know, the heartbeat could represent so many different things to us, as could time, if that's what you feel it represents in that poem. So have a go at creating a poem in the same format as Melvin Dixon's poem. So 2 syllables per sentence, 2 syllables per line. Sorry, 2 syllables per sentence, 2 sentences per line. But focus on a different theme to ill health. You know, maybe it'd be nice to have yours have a positive take on it. I'll just read his bio to you so you know a bit more about the poet. As I said, I always find it so interesting to know whose words are behind this. So Melvin Dixon was born in 1950. So I've managed to find quite a few American poets for this one. I do try and mix it up. He received a PhD from Brown University in 1975. As well as being a professor for literature, he was also an author, as we know, a poet and a translator. Dixon wrote extensively about the complexities of being a gay black man. He was also highly regarded for his works on African American literature, and sadly he died of complications from AIDS in 1992. Some people have suggested that this poem could relate to that, but I don't know that. That's a big assumption. But either way, fantastic poem. Before I leave you, I would just say thank you again for watching. Thanks to everyone who emailed me from last time and shared their thoughts on it. Feel free to comment below here as well. That would be wonderful to get some poetry conversations going. We've got a Positive Images Festival Poetry Workshop Facebook group, and that is the title for it. So you're welcome to join that. You don't have to be from Coventry or the Midlands. You can be from anywhere in the world. That's fine. We've had some new people join that, which is fantastic. We share poetry events. We share news about poems, competitions and opportunities to send work off, and just general poetry articles. And I'll keep you up to date about things to do with these workshops as well. So thank you to everyone again. The next workshop, I do them every month, but the next one's a week early. This is because we have been asked to link the session to Coventry Welcomes Week. Coventry Welcomes Week is Coventry's name for what is Refugee Week, National Refugee Week. And it's a celebration of all the different voices, the different stories and the different people that have come to our city of Coventry. But it's, as I said, these are not Coventry centric sessions. It's a celebration of all the people who have been refugees and have come here and brought their stories and their culture and numerous other assets with them. So it'll be great if you want to join us for that one. That will be available on the weekend of the 20th of June, so on the Saturday. It should be up by the Saturday evening, 20th of June, but it will be here on the Sunday the 21st, because these workshops always take place on a Sunday usually. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I'm so hope I haven't just bored you and talked loads. It's a very odd feeling when you're used to talking to people and getting a reaction, doing it into a camera. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. And thanks so much. Stay safe, keep writing, stay well, and I'll see you next month. Okay, take care, bye.